Hi, my name is Ian. I graduated from Victoria School in 2019. I was in AEP and also NPCC during my time. Now I'm in Temasek Polytechnic School of Design. I'm taking the course in Interior Architecture and Design. So I'll be talking a little bit about how VSAP actually shaped what I am now. I think starting off with a bit of a anecdote. VSAP is a very close-knit community. So we do have a lot of activities that we do together, and the nature of our work makes us tend to spend a lot of time together. So I would say that one of the more memorable things that we've done would be our camp and our courseworks. So the VSAP camp happens every year, and this particular year was extremely fun because it was the first that we ever had, and we had a chance to sleep over and play water games, also visit museums and galleries. So it was all very interesting and extremely fun, and especially since we got to know each other a lot better. In terms of courseworks, it happens quite regularly, but we tend to have these long periods of several weeks where we just sit in the rooms and then we work for hours nonstop. And I think it is the time spent and the experience of working, even though individually, but as a community that makes all of these very memorable. Following up with that would be actually the lessons learned. So for me, because VSAP was such a big part of school, we spent so much time on it and there was so much to do and learn. I think the most important part is always to be adaptable. Because of the volume of work that we did, there was always this need to be a little bit more flexible, to be able to understand the nature of the work and then work our way from there. So usually we would be quite uncertain, especially for the first couple of weeks or even up to the month. So we would just try to push forward, exploring. The idea was always to do before thinking. So not to sit around and then try to think about what we're going to do, but rather to just start first on anything and everything. It doesn't have to be a meaning. It just has to be something that we're doing. And then from there, that's where we start firming up our ideas and really focusing on what we want. And that is the main point of every coursework, to learn how to pick an idea and a concept, explore it, and then develop something that shows our understanding. This carries through all the way, even till now, especially in my course, where in interior architecture and design, some of our projects include, for example, developing an orphanage, a building. And then obviously at the beginning, the question is always like, how do we start? What would an orphanage even need, right? And in the same case, what would an artwork need? What does this have to mean to me and to the viewer? Um, Usually, you learn not to put this at the front, but rather at the back. So in the front, we go in thinking first, okay, this is an artwork or this is a design task. I'm just going to think of a concept first. So how about flow and movement? And then try to just do anything to work on that. And in life, I think so far it has come through for almost everything I've done, to not worry about the product, but more on the process. The next part would be about the community. So what makes this kind of like a community spirit work? Partly because, again, of the time that we spend in that studio, in the room, kind of pushing forward with our ideas and in some way encouraging each other, right? Because you are doing your own work and then sometimes it's tough and it takes weeks, but at the same time, there are other people with you. So it doesn't feel so bad because everybody is working on it at the same kind of with the same kind of energy and the same end goal in mind, to complete this task and to have it entirely satisfactory. Um, I think this is like the common idea. So it ties us together and it creates memories, I would say, and it also creates a sort of a spirit that this kind of like a just do it kind of idea, where we're always complaining, oh, there's so much to do, I don't even know where to start. It's not really working. But then everyone else will be saying, same here. And then it just goes from there. Everyone has the same idea, has the same thoughts, and then um, you get very closely bonded from these sort of activities and this sort of experience. So even till now, I keep in contact with many of my VSAP friends and even juniors, because in the time spent in the school, you tend to meet pretty much everybody in the whole AEP cohort from uh, any year actually. And when it comes to their work and our work as well, we tend to just take breaks, check out each other's work, um, have conversations. So it's a very free flow, relaxed kind of way to work, I would say, because it's not very rigid. There's no fixed way to go about things. Maybe some people find it easier to work alone or in long stretches, whereas others they tend to maybe work in a very spontaneous way. And the main point is that at the end, with all these different type of working styles, we still finish at the same time, and we always have this very satisfying final product at the end. So it is this thing at the end that brings us together. So I would say, as a little word of encouragement for everybody, is to always think about flexibility, to be able to push forward. Usually it doesn't involve having a very fixed thing in mind. uh, when we go about anything actually, we don't have to have a very clear set of goals. There has to be a vague idea at the end, but it doesn't need to be the same all the time. That's the main idea, to always have the ability to adapt and to change slightly while keeping the key idea in mind. With this kind of mindsets, it would be easy to go about anything from regular decision making to big choices, especially later on in maybe JC, poly, or even uni. So there's no need to stress too much about the future because nobody can predict how it goes. But if we do have an idea, and then as we work towards it, we take in things and we process accordingly, and then adapt our choices from there, then it's usually very possible to do almost anything. And I think with that, that would be the end of my sharing. Thank you.